welcome to ISI. We are going to be talking about the choices we make. That's the topic that we have tonight. And no, I wasn't in a fight with the cat or the lion. It's just the style of my distressed top. So yeah, but yeah, I could just see anyway. Anyway, so the choices we make, we're going to be talking about it. So what I wanted to kind of just share with you guys is just understanding choices and why do we make choices, and what are the consequences of choices, what are the outcomes of choices, what is the power of choices. That's the main thing I want to talk about tonight, the power of choices and the choices we make. Now, this week, I've really been like reflecting on myself and reflecting on my mindset, and also looking at my current situation, looking at what is around me, looking at who's around me. And one of the things that keeps coming to me, and it's in a book that I've been reading as well. So it was really good to get that confirmation, because when Darnell put the post out on Monday, it literally hit my spirit, and I was like, yeah, with the doors, like the choices that we make. And, you know, how many of you, and I'm just going to ask this question, how many of you have ever made a choice back in the day and you now see the manifestation of it in your life now? Like, you think of a choice that maybe you made as a child even, or maybe you made as a young adult, and you're now seeing the manifestation of that choice or the consequence of that choice. Like, I know that I've seen some of the manifestations and consequences of some of the choices that I've made in my life, and some of them have been really great, and some of them have been not so great, and, you know, a little bit regrettable. I wouldn't say I feel guilty. I used to feel guilty, but I've dealt with guilt, and we're going to talk about guilt as well, because a lot of the choices that we make sometimes are based around guilt. You know, we want to make everyone happy, so sometimes we make choices because we want to make other people happy, and a lot of the time we forget about the consequences that we experience by putting ourselves in a place of non-importance. And I know that, you know, as on this love journey, one of the things that we focus on is self-love, self-acceptance, getting self-worth, self-understanding, self-care, all of these things, because the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, if you don't love yourself, you are going to find it very, very hard to love your neighbor. But you're also not going to know how to love your neighbor if you don't know how to love yourself. One of the, I was speaking to a client this week, and we were talking about judgment and being judgmental. And one of the things that came to me so strongly was that when the Bible talks about judge not, that you don't be judged. And I used to think, yeah, you shouldn't judge, or, you know, everyone else is going to judge you, so you shouldn't judge. But then it was like, I was speaking to God about it, and God said, well, look at it in a different way. And what he gave me was a different perspective on the very same thing. I still very much agree with the original perspective, but maybe not so much actually, but I still agree with it to a certain degree. But judging not, that you don't be judged. Now, I was thinking of when I was in church and I got pregnant with my daughter. I was in church, I was a worship leader, and I got pregnant with my daughter. And I remember other young people in other churches who had gone through this very same thing. You know, they weren't married and they were pregnant and they were in church. And I just remember them being like told off and, you know, put on the back. We used to call it backbenching. I remember getting backbenched. And when I got backbenched, I remember just thinking, this doesn't feel right. I know that what I've done is wrong, or, you know, that's what I believed. I know what I've done is wrong, but somehow I'm not feeling cared for. I'm not feeling loved. I'm feeling just as shocked and just as vulnerable and just as afraid in this situation. And I remember when I told my mom, she was very, very disappointed. You know, my mom was, you know, a very strict Christian, and she was very disappointed with me at the time. And I really felt you know, I felt a way about it. Like I felt like, you know what, Lord, I feel like I've done something wrong, and I felt very guilty for the choices that I'd made. I felt very, very guilty. But then when I spoke to my mom, and she was like, you know, because it's this and it's that and da 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 da. But then she softened very quickly and said, you know what, Aundrea, I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there for you. You know, we're going to love this child. We're going to raise this child. It's going to be fine. You know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And in that moment, I saw my mom's whole perception of someone getting pregnant while they're in church change. And it changed mainly because, sorry, got a phone ringing in the background. It changed mainly because she had experienced it. She had experienced having a daughter who experienced that. So she realized that her judging me wasn't going to help me. She realized that her judging me was going to make the situation worse. And after that situation, we were able to empathize with a lot of young girls that came to church and that I met who had got pregnant and weren't married and, you know, were single mothers or, you know, things like that. And it made me a lot more empathetic to people's situation, because I realized that, you know, anybody can be found in that situation. Anybody can find themselves experiencing that. And so when I'm going back to the scripture, so when it said, judge not that you don't be judged, it was like, if I don't judge you, then I'm not going to judge myself. But if I do judge you, so say, like I say, well, you know, 17 is way too young to have a child. If I turn around and said that, and then I had a child at 17, I would hold myself to the same judgment that everybody, that I've been holding others to. So I'll be like, you know what, you're looked at as whatever, you're looked down on, you're not taken seriously, da, 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 da. If those were my thoughts, that's the very same thoughts I would hold about myself. Like, for instance, if I'm a great mother, you know, or I'm a bad mother, and then I start judging somebody who's a bad mother, I start judging someone who's a great mother because, oh, look, she's just so great. She's so great with her kids. Da, 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 da. And I'm holding myself in a place of judgment because I don't meet that standard. Or I'm holding myself in that judgment because I'm lower than that standard. Or do you know what I mean? I'm not there. Mm. And it's learning to understand that if you don't judge others, you're not going to judge yourself so harshly. And when the Bible says, judge not that you don't be judged, it's saying, judge not, because number one, we're all one. So if you're judging them, you're judging you anyway. And also, if you're judging them, you are judging you, because you're going to hold yourself to them same judgmental mindsets. And what I had to get was that different perspective of like not judging people, and then making the choice to love myself and accept myself regardless of what I did or who I am or what I've experienced or what I've been through. And that really, really did help me. Yeah, so we're going to talk about choices, like specifically though. We're going to go into detail about making choices and making good choices and what choices do and how they affect your life. Now, the thing is about choices is that you can either make them consciously, or you can make them subconsciously, or you can make them collectively. And I have, since I started my love journey, been consciously making choices, because I now understand that the choices I make today prepare me for the outcomes that I'm wanting to see in the future or in my present situation, or the choices I've made in the past are for my present. So I have to make choices now, which will soon be my past, for where I'm going. So are we making good choices every day? Are we making good choices in the partners that we choose? Are we making good choices in the careers that we take? Are we making good choices in the food that we eat? Are we making good choices in what we experience and what's around us? And I'll tell you this, if you want to know whether the choices that you've made in your life are favorable, and notice I say favorable or not favorable. I'm not going to say good or bad, and you'll understand why I won't say good or bad, but you make a decision that, are the choices I'm making favorable or not favorable to me for where I want to be? So if any of you in here are entrepreneurs and you want to have your own business, or you're an artist and you want to put out music, and you want to whatever you want to do, you make choices to be that, you make choices to do that, you make choices, and it's the choices that you make today that are going to shape your tomorrow. So it's so important that we make favorable choices. Now, you may ask the question, okay, what about if I didn't have any choice in a situation? There is no such thing as I didn't have a choice. I know that sounds like, oh, you can't say that, Aundrea, but you always have a choice. So for instance, let me give you a scenario. If you went to a restaurant and all they had was, I don't know, beans and chips and eggs and bacon, and you're like, well, yeah, I'd like to have a full English, please. And they give you everything. And then you realize, oh, wait, I don't eat bacon anymore. So it's your choice whether you want to sit down and eat the bacon because it's in front of you, or you don't want to eat the bacon and be like, this is my choice. I will choose to go without than to do what I don't want to do. And a lot of times we make choices based on the fact of what we want to experience now. We don't make choices based on what outcome we want in the future or what outcomes we want to see. And then sometimes when we're presented with an outcome, we're presented with things that are facing us, we say, well, I never asked for this, I never asked for that, I didn't want this to happen in my life, why is this happening in my life, why is that happening in my life, why is this? Well, when you go back to the beginning, you're going to realize that it all started with a choice. It all started with a choice. And God has given us an amazing gift called free will. It's a wonderful, wonderful gift. But with that gift comes responsibility. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. So if he gives us a free will is for everybody, anybody, everywhere, every tribe, every color, every creed. And you've seen free will demonstrated in, I don't know, like, what scenario can I use? The suicide bomber people. Yeah, they make a choice that, listen, they're willing to die for what they believe in. They've made that choice. Once you've made that choice, do you understand that nothing or no one can stop you from doing what you're about to do? Because you're willing to lose your life for it. So there's no repercussion, there's no nothing. You know that this is the end. You've made that decision and you are just going to do whatever you're going to do. If somebody decides to do that, that is the power of free will. It's a choice that we have. We make choices because we have free will. But when you have free will, you have to understand that there are consequences and we have to be responsible for the choices that we make. We have to be responsible. If I go to my bank account and I see 50 pence, if I got his hand up already, and he's sitting right next to me, I want to pinch him. I want to pinch him. If I go to my bank account and there's 50 pence in there, and last week I had £100 in there, and there's not £100, there's 50 pence, and then I'm like, oh, why have I only got 50 pence? Like, oh Lord Jesus, I just got 50. And then I'm not thinking about the KFC that I bought last week. I'm not thinking about the Chinese takeaway. I'm not thinking about the Subway that I had. I'm not thinking about the earrings that I bought from Pretty Little Thing. But then I'm worrying and I'm upset that I've only got 50 pence in my account. Oh, if you got 50 pence in your account, what's the choices you made? What choices did you make? If your cupboard is empty, what choices did we make? And I know this, and I'm not saying that, oh, it's ha 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 or anything like that, but I'm saying the reality is everything that you experience, you have had a part creating it, because we are creators. I've said this over and over again, that we are creators, and we have to understand that you have the freedom of choice. I put out my thing every week. Every week I put it out, and you guys choose to press the link and turn up and sit here, and we come together and we talk. Nobody, I don't go to pull no one's hand to their phone. I don't press no one's button and press enter. I don't do that. You all have made a choice to be here. And your why, okay, I don't know what everybody's why is. Your why might be because you like to see my smile, you like my energy, you like my banter. Andrea's like, yes. Your choice to be here might be because you like what we talk about. Your choice to be here might be because you just like the feeling of the community, that you're making friends and there's people that you can meet. And, you know, that your choice to be here might be for so many different reasons. We all make different choices based on our own perception of what we want to experience. And this is key. How many of you like what you're experiencing in your life right now? How many of you? Like, my hands are up. Like, I love what I'm experiencing. I'm not going to say I love all of it, but I love most of it. But you know what is even more amazing is that, lovely to see you, Ali. What is even more amazing is that I have learned to even love the bad experiences. I've learned to love the bad experiences. I was facing a challenging situation, and it was so funny because I have an app on my phone, and it sends me like positive quotes and all this kind of stuff. And it said to me, the challenges you face today are helping you to know what you need to work on. The things that trigger you are the things that you need to work on. If something triggers you, it's always an indicator that there's some work that needs to be done there. And what do I mean by a trigger? If it makes you angry, if it irritates you, if it gets under your skin, if it makes you want to throw people in the bin. I'm always throwing people in the bin. I don't close the lid, I just throw them. I leave the lid open because I do let them out. But I do, when people get on my nerves, I think going in the bin. Like Earl, my darling, he's already in the bin today, guys. If you was here at the pre-session, you would know why Earl is in the bin. So if you want to know why Earl is in the bin, join us for the pre-session and you will understand why Earl is in the bin, because he doesn't have no behavior, okay? But I'm just saying, like, this is choices. And he makes these, yeah, you stay there laughing. He makes these choices to come and sing songs. Songs, guys. If you want to hear the songs, like, come before 7:15 and you will hear Earl singing his very inappropriate songs. Very inappropriate, but they're so fun. I can't help it. Everybody needs to get themselves at Earl. I love him. I put him in the bin just for fun. It's great. But it's so great. But the point I want to make is that when you understand that every choice you make is one stepping stone in the direction of where you want to go, every single choice. Today, for instance, okay, my mom wanted to go to get some material, and she asked me to go with her, and I already said no, I don't want to go because it's a long drive and I don't want to go. And she convinced me because I needed to go to the shop, and she was like, well, you know. So I was like, all right, I'll go with you. And we made a choice. And I got in the car and we went to the material shop to get mum's material. And I went in the shop and the lady said to me, do you know that I thought about you 2 days ago? 2 days ago, you came to my mind and I had no clue why. And this is not someone I see regular. It's a material shop in Southall. I go there maybe once a year or something like that. And she said, I thought about you 2 days. I said, you see, and look, now I'm here. Your thoughts. And this is another thing. This is a lead in. What defines your choices? Your perception. Your thoughts about things will make you make choices. So her thought about me made me, believe it or not, make the choice to get in my car and head there. And she's telling me, I just thought about you 2 days ago. Do you think these things are coincidence? Do you think these things are by chance? You thought about me. How many times have you lot ever done this? You think about someone and, oh, I really need to call this person. And the next thing you know, either they're calling you on the phone or something on Facebook about that very person will come up in front of your face. You'd be like, I was just thinking about this person and I haven't seen this person for years. How is it that you just come up on my Facebook feed? You're like, is somebody watching me? But when you think it and they turn up, then there's no way that the phone could know, or I've heard you said something. I have done that so many times. I've called people's names and the next thing I know, I see a text from that person, or I think about somebody and they show up, or I think about a thing, like I would say something like, oh, I really want to have McDonald's today. And then my daughter will come and be like, Mom, do you fancy having McDonald's? And I'll be like, yeah, I just thought about it. I just thought I want McDonald's. So we have to understand that our mind is such a powerful, powerful, powerful creating tool. And a lot of times we create scenarios, we create things that don't even exist. We make things up in our minds. We make the choice to make things up in our minds. Something will happen and we choose how we want to experience it. Can you believe that? You can choose how you experience every situation. And guess this, hear this. Right, yes, Michelle, mind over matter. One of you get the door, please, the door. You can choose how you experience every situation, mind over matter. And it really is that. You can choose. So for instance, I think I told you a lot about the story about, the man in the concentration camp, and he would go to the torturer every day and the guy would torture him. But every day he would say, God bless you, brother. I love you. Peace be with you. And then he would get tortured. And that kept on happening. And eventually he died. And the torturer, once the guy died, realized that he had tortured a really beautiful soul. And it changed his life, because every day that man chose to turn up, and yes, he may have screamed out in pain, but he chose to feel no hatred. He chose to not look at his aggressor as an aggressor. He chose to continuously look at him as a brother and to love him as a brother, regardless of the choices that he made to be an abuser or to be an aggressor. He decided to choose love. He chose peace. He chose honesty. He chose integrity. He chose to hold on to his peace. And a lot of times people will do things around us that will make us, get a little bit out of sorts and get a little bit flustered and get a little bit frustrated and get a little bit angry. But the truth of the matter is, you have the power to choose whatever you want to show up for you in whatever way you want it to show up. And I'm telling you this, and I can't even be more serious about it. The choices, Ali, you're sitting in Trinidad right now with the sun in your, in the background, and you've got your little summer top on and you're just looking all tanned and smile in your face. Like, the joy of the Lord is just all over you. And you got cheers, baby girl. You're not allowed. Cheers. Yeah. But if you decided to not make that choice to take that trip, you'd have been sitting at home. You'd have been sitting in England like I am. Hoping for a little bit of sun, hoping for a little bit of heat, hoping. But you made the choice to get on a plane, and then you made a choice to, guys, she completed her foundation love journey. I really want to big up Alison at this point, actually. Can we just all congratulate Alison? She has completed her foundation love journey, and I was hoping she was going to share a bit of her story with you today. You still up for that, Ali? Or you want to do it another day? Oh, you're still up for it. All right. So she'll share a little bit. But just to talk about choices again, like, it's so important that you guys make conscious choices. We can make choices when we're disciplining our children. We can make choices when we're choosing the jobs. We can make choices when we're choosing careers. We can make choices when we're choosing partners. I've been guilty, of seeing the red flags, seeing them, waving in my face. But he's so fine. He looks so good. Like, I'm like, and then I kept making the wrong choice. But that wrong choice turned out to be the right choice. It turned out to be the right choice because I learned what I never want to have in my life ever again. please. Don't let me. Don't. So you know the accents start coming out. Don't do it. I realized what I never want to experience again. And I made the choice that I will make good choices. I will make good choices because the choices you make today will shape your tomorrow. They will shape your present. The choices you make yesterday will be what you manifest today. So what are the choices that you're going to make? What are the choices that you're going to change? You see, like, for instance, I'm going to give you a scenario, another one. I like giving you guys a scenario. Imagine you got somebody that always gets on your nerves. You know, every time you go into work, this person, they get on your nerves. You know, they just, as soon as you see them, your whole spirit just, and every day you allow that. Every day you see that person, you allow that thing to happen. You allow that to happen. And one day you decide, I'm going to make a choice to see you through the eyes of love. I'm going to make a choice to see you as maybe somebody who's suffering depression, maybe somebody who's hurting. I don't know what your story is, but I'm going to make a choice to find out your story. And you go and you find out that person's story, and you maybe find out that their cat died and they've been grieving. And that's why every morning they come in and they never speak because, you know, they're so upset. And then you realize that it never had anything to do with you in the first place. But you could have gone the next 10 years thinking that that person's a horrible person and not realizing that all they needed was a friend or all they needed was a shoulder to cry on. So we can make choices. We don't have to see situations and just let the situation just run away with us. You can make a choice. If you want to ask a question, Michelle, you have to put your hand up, babe, okay? So you can make choices to how you're going to respond. I now choose my responses to situations in advance. I choose it. When my daughter comes home from school and she wants to just go straight away and just offload, I make a choice. I've made the choice that whenever she comes, I'm not going to let her do it. I'm going to give myself 5 minutes just to adjust because I know the barrage is coming. So I give myself 5 minutes and I'm like, 5 minutes. I make that choice. And it makes it so much easier that after that 5 minutes, she can come and she can download on mummy and mummy's ready for it. She can come. She knows that. We make those choices. So what are the choices that you guys are making? What are you seeing in your life that you don't want to see or that you don't like or you didn't like that you're experiencing it? Because I tell you what, if we talk about any of these, I'm going to take you right back to when you made the first choice that started the cascade. Because that's what it is. Choices, they start a ripple effect. You drop that little pebble, that's the choice, and then comes the ripple effect. I made a choice many years ago to meet a fine young man at a nightclub. He was finer than bone china. I was 20, turning 21, and he said, hey. And I said, don't talk to me like that. Hey. And lo and behold, I had a wonderful child called Tian. That was a choice. But what if at that moment I decided to be really arrogant and rude? And I decided to turn my nose up and feel like I'm too nice and not respond to this guy who said, because I don't usually respond to that. And I didn't respond. Then Tian may never have been here. She may never have happened. So sometimes we don't understand.
Thank the Lord you did. Thank the Lord you did, because I'm here.
Diving into people them Zoom. Like I was like, where's that coming from?
Yeah, because I'm great. I'm great.
You are great. And you know the thing is as well, Tian is great for my journey as well. She's been really, really great for my journey because we are very similar and very different all at the same time. You know, she challenges me. Her personality challenges me in ways that, you know, other people won't challenge me. And I'm telling you, it really, really was one of the best choices I made in my life. One of the best choices. The other one is over there causing problems right now. And she was another one of the best choices. Aww. And we go through situations and it's making the right, I'm telling you, yeah. I'm telling you, it was one of the best choices I made in my life. I'm so glad that I didn't act stush. I'm so glad that I didn't walk past this. I think he was 5'10" or 5'11", I think he is, like little black Adonis who looked like he should be in a boy band. Like, who was gonna walk past that? Come on, let's just be real. Like, man was fine. He's still quite cute, but you know, age and all. But anyway, but I am so glad that I have the daughter that I have, and I'm so glad that I chose the father that I did for her, and it was a good choice. But then sometimes we make choices that we're not so happy about, and then what do we do? I do talk quite openly about my younger daughter and the situation, and a lot of times I felt like I made a bad choice, not in having her, because she's an absolute blessing, and I don't believe in mistakes. I believe she was predestined and ordained by God to be my daughter, because she's amazing and she's good for me. She keeps me on my toes. She keeps me, you know, growing. She keeps me, you know, focused, and she's amazing. But I used to always feel guilty because of the choice that I made in the circumstances, and her growing up without having her father by her side. I felt very, very guilty for it for years and years and years. Every Father's Day would be hell for me, absolute hell. I would just be like, you know, okay, I'm mum and dad, you know how we do. But then I started to get comfortable with my choice, and I started to not have guilt. I removed guilt. And let me just explain. Guilt is something that you hold unforgiveness for yourself. Did you know that? Guilt is unforgiveness of one's self. When you don't forgive yourself, you hold guilt. So you feel guilty for not doing that, or you feel guilty for not being this, or you feel guilty for not doing that. You feel guilty for this. And the truth of the matter is, okay, you made a choice. It may have been a good choice. It may have been a not a bad choice. It may, whatever, but you've made that choice. And now once you've made the choice, we have to live with the consequences or the outcomes of our choices. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to sit here and hold myself guilty. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just going to work with what I've got. And now that I have the wisdom and the knowledge to make better choices for myself moving forward, that's what I do. So every day I choose to be peaceful. I choose to be joyful. I choose to be happy. I choose to surround myself with people who are like-minded. I choose to help people. I choose to, you know, move my business and ISI in a forward direction. That's what I choose to do. And you know what is so funny? God is amazing. I was in Primark today, and I was in a space where my head was a little bit all over the place, and I was a bit frazzled, and I was like, and I didn't say a word. And this Muslim lady came up with her mask on, and she said to me, she said, make choices for yourself. Choose every day to do exactly what you want to do, and don't make choices for other people. Make the choices for yourself. I looked at this woman. I said, huh? I said, no, wait. I wanted to touch her because I wanted to see if she was real. Like, I actually wanted to touch her. And I was just like, do you know what? I said, I really needed to hear that. I said, thank you so much. And I said, God, you sent the Muslim lady with the mask and her hijab to come and tell me the very thing that I'm going to come and talk to you guys about tonight, because I needed it at that moment. I said, wow. And then I was walking around, I was on the phone, and I was talking to, I think I was talking to Laz, and I was saying, or I was talking to somebody, and I was like, this lady, she just came up to me, and then I turned around and she was right there again. I said, oh, I'm just talking about you. And then I walked up again, and I was on the phone to somebody else, and I was telling them as well. And then I turned, and she was right there again. I said, oh, I'm talking about you again. I said, what you just told me, I said, you literally have just said something that I needed to hear. I said, thank you so much. But she could have made the choice to have that thought and think to myself, I'm not going to say this to this woman. She's there trying to buy pajamas, and she's looking at slippers, and I'm there coming to tell her about making choices and telling her, make choices for yourself. And she could have chose to not say that. So you have to understand the importance of the choices that you make. You have to understand the importance of the choices that you make. The importance of the choices. And understand that you are a creator. You are a creator, and you can create and manifest the very thing that you want to see. What do you want to see in your life? Just think about it, just for a moment. What do you want to see in your life happen in 2022? Today is the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022, guys. It's 2222. It's today. It's all the twos. God done spoke to me about the twos, guys. Thank you. God spoke to me about the twos. Be quiet, Talia. Thank you very much. See, I made the choice to do that live on air. Yeah, I made that choice. Because it's really real out here. Yeah. It's 2222. This only comes around once in a lifetime, I believe, because the next time it's going to be
on the 22nd as well.
Oh yeah, no, I know that, but that's going to be not the same as this. It's going to be all the twos. It's going to be 22 to 22. That's amazing. Like, I have a thing about twos. If you know me, you know I got a thing about twos. Yeah, and today is just a wonderful 222 days for me. I'm just like, and I'm just so. But you know, that's just a thing. But what I'm saying is that in this the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022, what do you want to set an intention? What choice are you going to make today that's going to make the next month, the next year, the next decade what you want it to be? My choice was to get out of depression, get out of grief, get out of guilt, get out of all of these things that are not helping me and not moving me in the direction that I believe I want to go in and that God wants me to go in. And I made some choices. And because I chose to come and sit here every Wednesday for a year plus now, guys, it's been a year plus. Just picking up ISI. And we're still here. And we've built this community and we've built this family together, and we grow together, and we're here, and I've made this choice. And I'm realizing that the choices that I make have impacted others. Remember when we spoke about Am I My Brother's Keeper? So if you haven't seen that, do go check it out. It's on our YouTube page. Do check it out. Am I My Brother's Keeper? The choices that I've made have enabled me to help so many people. And I feel so privileged. I feel so honored that I made these choices. So I'm going to just put it to you today. Choose how you want to experience things. Choose. Do you want to experience it in pain? Do you want to experience it in sorrow? Do you want to experience it with anger? Do you want to experience it with fear? Or do you want to experience it with joy? Do you want to experience it with love? Do you want to experience it with peace? Do you want to experience it with grace? I always choose these ones. And I'm not saying it's the easiest choice, because sometimes the easiest choice is to just be vexed. Sometimes the easiest choice is to just say, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. But when you consciously make choices in your life that are going to move you in the direction that you want to go, or that God wants you to go, you're going to see things change. Change your perspective first. So be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because when you renew your mind about a thing, it influences the choices that you make. Because I've renewed my mind about not having a car, I've renewed my mind because I'm not defined by my car. Once upon a time, I would have been sitting here depressed. I'd have been rocking in my seat like this. I ain't got a car. I don't know what to do. I can't move. I can't go nowhere. I can't get on a bus. Oh my God. But I made a choice. The car's not going to define who I am. The car doesn't. I chose. And when I chose to, God said to me, what's the thing that's upsetting you? I said, oh, it's the sentiment. And God told me, well, the sentiment's an emotion, so you can keep that. Oh, I said, well, I choose that then. And I chose it, and it made me feel sad. And then God came to me and he said, how's the sentiment working out for you? And I said, well, it's not very good. I feel a bit sad. And he said, so choose again then. I said, Okay. He said, what do you want to choose? I said, gratitude. So then I chose gratitude. And I kid you not, as I chose the gratitude, I started to feel so grateful for what that car allowed me to do and who it allowed me to be and who it allowed me to help. And I chose gratitude. And I thought to myself, this is a much better way to experience this thing rather than to choose sorrow and self-pity and all of that. I chose gratitude. And with gratitude, it pulls things to you. If you don't know that, let me tell you, when you have gratitude, it draws things to you. Being grateful is a way that draws more to you. What does the Bible say? Be faithful in the little, and I will bless you with much. Be faithful in the little. He says, do not despise the humble beginnings. Just be grateful. Be grateful. And I am grateful. I was grateful when there was 5 of us in here. I was in here talking up a storm. Like, there was so many of us in here. I was so grateful. And I'm so grateful that we have, how many we got in here today? 18 of us. There's 18 of us in here today. And I'm grateful for the 18. Yes, I want to have 50. Yes, I want to have 100. But I am grateful for every single one of you who makes that choice to take time out of your day, out of your evening to come and be with us. Big up Becky, boop, 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 Owly, Wagwan. And I'm sorry, I just have these sporadic moments, you know how it is. So, you know, I want to open up the floor. So if you've got a question off the back of this and you want to ask me, now will be the time to just raise your hand. So there's an emoji in more. If you go that, and you can raise your hand, okay? And then at the bottom of your screen, when you finish, you can lower your hand. Darnell had his hand up first. So I'm gonna let Darnell say, well, are you gonna come here or you gonna come here?
See me from here, hear me from you. Yeah.
All right then.
So my first
no, but then you won't be on the video, so you're gonna have to come here because it won't swap over to you. Right, here we go. Right.
No, so yeah, my question was what you said is, I'll put my hand up a while ago now. Oh yes, you said how we have a choice. So a lot of people can turn around and say, if I went out minding my business, serving the Lord, etc., and someone came and run me over, was that my choice? Now I think I understand how the answer to that, but why does that thing happen? Why do those things happen to people? In the sense, if everyone chooses, why would people choose for that to happen to them?
Why would people choose for them to get run over by a car?
In those extremes, not only that, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so there's different levels to the choices that we make. There are conscious choices and there are subconscious choices.
Talk about it.
Yeah, and the thing is that we have choices that we make. So think about it. That you chose to go out at that time, on that day, in that evening. That person chose to go out at that time, at that day, in that evening. So it wasn't like I'm gonna consciously choose to go and be run over, but the choice that you made brought you in alignment with that thing.
Mm. Is it almost as if there's something we're not aware of making the choices for us?
You know what, I don't believe that there's something making choices for us, even because even God
something
has,
that is us, but we're not aware of it.
Oh yeah, oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Now, Donald, see, all right, guys. So the thing is, yeah, right. I tried to keep this thing not too deep, yeah, because when we go too deep, y'all be getting spooked by my funny stuff. So I tried to keep the funny stuff to a minimum. So Donald, you're not gonna draw me out like that, all right? I'm not. Yeah, you're gonna draw me out. You guys are gonna have to join the inner circle if you want to know this deep stuff that he's trying to draw me out. You're gonna have to join our inner circle, which we will be revealing very, very soon. Okay, it will be launched soon, but we'll start advertising it, our inner circle, because we are going to go deep, and I'm going to talk up the things that I can't really talk up on here, because some people's ears will just close and their eyes will close and their mouth will turn inwards, and it just be a mess. So I'm not going to do that. We're not going to go there, right? All right. So Okay, no, yeah. Has anybody else got a question? Like, but I'm.
Does it show you everyone?
Yeah.
How's it do it? So as
So
someone puts
where?
their hands up, they'll also come to
Yeah.
the first screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
if anybody else has a question, but you know what, that is a good question. I really do believe that we make choices, but I can't even go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting drawn out. But I'm just gonna say, I don't believe that something makes choices for us, but I do believe that the choices that we experience have a lot to do with our purpose. And a lot of us sometimes don't understand our purpose, or we don't understand what we're here to experience. Yeah, we don't know what we're here to experience, and we have to understand that. All right, so yeah, does anybody else have a question? I think you had another question, Donna. Do you want to ask me that other question?
Yeah, are there because you talked about what's the word you used? You didn't say good or bad, you said favorable choices. Why did you not say good or bad?
Because I don't believe that there are any such thing as a bad choice. I don't believe in bad choices. I believe in choices that are favorable and not favorable. And the reason why I say that is, for instance, okay, I like to use pictures and scenarios. So let me give you a scenario. If you were playing like a board game, right? And on that board game, it's like for you to get from, like if you're playing snakes and ladders or whatever, there's pitfalls and there's ladders and whatever. So you throw the dice, and then, or in this one, you don't have a dice. You can choose how many moves you move. So I say, all right, I'm going to move 5, and you move 5, and you land on a ladder. Something favorable happens. You go up the ladder. It says, yeah, past 2 levels, you're on level 53 now, right? And then you say, okay, I'm going to pick just 10. You pick 10 to move ahead because you think, yeah. And then there's a snake. And on that is a snake, and you right down to the bottom, yeah? But the truth of the matter is, you pick the snake or you pick that, you're still heading in the same direction.
Talk about it. That was a good one.
You see that? You're still heading. You're still on the board. You're still in the game.
But it's like,
I like this one. You're still in the game. Whether you get on the ladder or whether you get the snake, you're still in the game.
But it's like, in the game, there's a winner. But in real life, there is no winner. We all win in the end.
Don't know. Yes, you want to talk about the things. This is very true. In the game, there is one winner. But in our game of life, we are the winner, and you will win. Whether it seems like it ends in disaster, or whether it seems like you think, wow, but you don't know what that person wanted to come here and experience, because life is an experience. It's a culmination of different experiences. If you desire to experience God in his fullest, he will show up for you. If you desire to experience healing, hey, Alison's like, don't talk about it. If you desire to experience healing, he will show up for you. But guess what? You're going to have to be sick. The only way you can experience healing is to be sick. So sometimes the choices that we make and the experiences we want to have, we have to go through some stuff. I said I want to be a life coach. So what do I have to have the experience in? And a life. Lord of mercy, I can't coach life and me not experience life. You have to experience life. I'm like, when I was going through the list of things that I've experienced, I'm like, yep, I've experienced that. I've experienced homelessness. I've experienced abuse. I've experienced losing a child. I've experienced all these different things. I've experienced heartbreak. I've experienced poverty. I've experienced depression. I've experienced guilt. I've experienced anxiety. I've experienced all these wonderful things. And I tell you what, they make my sessions so much better because I talk from an experiential place. I used a big word. I used I forgot what I said. I'm not gonna say it again. Experiential. That's it. Ooh. There you go. Experiential, from an experiential place. And I'm telling you, being able to say to somebody, I know what you're talking about. I know what you've been through because I've been through it too, is amazing. It's absolutely Amazing. Now, I just want Alison, if she can just come on and just, even if it's just 5 minutes, just share a bit. I just want to big up Alison and say congratulations openly on passing her. We haven't got her certificate yet, but I don't know where they are. I'll show you them. Alison's going to get one of these because she has passed her thing. And I want to tell you guys, save the date, okay? Save the date, the 9th of April. Just anyone. No, just anyone. So yeah, Alison's going to get one of these because she has passed her foundation. This is not hers, this is somebody else's, but she's going to get one of these. So congratulations, Alison. I can't wait to give it to you in person at the launch, guys. We are actually going to do our award ceremony at the launch, and you are all invited to come to the launch. So save the date, the 9th of April. We are actually going out tonight to check out a venue. So if you see my snap a little bit litty and you can't get me on the phone tomorrow, it's because I went out after ISI. Just saying, guys. So Ali Pally, let me pin you and just say welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks.
It's so wonderful that, like, the smile on your face, your journey it's been amazing. And even how it happened, like, I just want you to kind of just give us a little bit, like, the highs and how did it come about?
Well, how it came about was, I mean, obviously I know about ISI, and I've been hearing every time on a Wednesday, I heard Aundrea talking about the love journey, and I'm like, not me. I'm like, no, this is too deep for me, and no, I'm not doing it. And Aundrea she hasn't like asked me to do it, but I know that she's leaving me to my own devices because she knows that I'm supposed to be going to her, and I know I'm supposed to be going to her, but I ain't moving. So I said to her that I'll think about it anyway, and then I thought to myself, nah, it's too deep for me, I'm not doing it. And then the competition came up about this winning. You have to send out, like, share it for 10 people, right? And say why you would like to have to do the love journey. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't mind doing the competition because I never win competitions anyway. I'll just send out the 10. So I blasé filled out did what the competition instructions told me to do. And then one day coming from work, I was on the train and I got a call from Aundrea, and it still didn't click to me. I just thought she was calling for a chit chat. And she was like, congratulations. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, what? She goes, you won. I'm like, won what? And I went, oh.
I can't. She literally did that, guys. She was like, Mama, I said, you won the competition for the country.
I
was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that kind of response, but okay.
I wasn't expecting it. So in my mind, I thought to myself, God, you're so funny, because I'm thinking to myself, God knows that I need it. Aundrea knows that I need it, but I just didn't want to do it. But I just felt if God had spoken to Aundrea to say it's me, and I'm getting a pull from God, then who am I to say no? Let me just do it, because obviously God thinks this is good for me, and that's really why I said, okay, I will do it. Let me go for it. I was very anxious. I had anxiety because I thought to myself, what's going to get drawn out of me? All the little skeletons and bones and dry bones and all kind of bones in my closet and in my drawer and in my kitchen cupboard and under my bed, what's going to come out? And I thought, I'm not ready. I said, I'm not ready. But the first, I was very clammy the first session that we had. But after talking to Aundrea, I kind of like relaxed, because I think it wasn't what I thought it would be. What that was, I don't know, but it was just so different. And I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. It doesn't seem fine. She really sort of like was gentle with me, and she made sure that, you know, I was okay, and she reassured me that it was going to be fine. And by the end of it, I was going to see things so differently. And I think that first session, she took a picture of my face. She took a picture of my face. My face
I
was not
totally
available.
did, but I'm not going to show it if you don't want me to. But I can find it if you would like me to share it. But you know, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. I'm going to see. I'm going to look for it, but I won't share it until you give me permission.
Yeah, that's fine. You can share it. You can share it. It's fine. Because I thought it was hilarious. So, I think by the second session, I was like very blasé with my assignments, I must say, because I think after the first week, when I began, I came to Trinidad. So I was on holiday mode, and I wasn't really taking ISI Love Journey seriously, to be honest. And I saw the assignments, I tried to do it, and sort of like went to my second session, and only part of my assignments was done. And I looked at Aundrea's face. I was like so apologetic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't get it done. I rallied on. She just sat there. Like she does, waiting for me to finish badgering myself. And it's just, are you done now? Because I'm not angry with you, you're angry with yourself. She's so funny, honestly, this girl. So anyway, I think when we start our sessions, we just both laughing. But I actually went on my sessions. By the third session, I sort of got into it. I did say by the third session, I got into it really good. Realized, okay, this is important. Aundrea's invested a lot of time in these ISI programs, and I really need to take it seriously if I'm going to get anything out of this. So just do the assignments and the homework set. And once I started to do it, I realized that it wasn't like evasive. It wasn't intrusive. It was just bringing out a bit about myself very gently, and it's literally learning my own truth. And I always used to say, my enemy was my enemy. And literally by the time I finished the love journey, I realized that my enemy was my best friend and not my enemy. So that was a big change for me, seeing how I see things differently. Life is so good. What can I say?
It's amazing. And the transformation that you've experienced, Alison, literally, I have the picture. Guys,
Have you?
I have it. I have it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it, guys. I'm going to show it. Are you guys ready? Alison, you don't mind, but... Are you ready? This was the first. This is look how beautiful her smile is. This is how she in my sessions, guys. This is a screenshot from the look at the difference, guys. Look I said, this girl's not happy with life.
That's my twin. That's not me.
That doesn't look like you. You see, look,
here's my smile,
guys.
Green. There's my teeth.
How do you feel seeing this? How do you feel actually seeing this image of yourself? Like, how does it feel?
It's really strange, because I was thinking in that picture, I'm wondering to myself, if I was to slice my face open, what's in there? Like, so much stuff and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've unpacked my suitcase right now.
Yeah. Like,
oh
guys,
that's really weird how heavy I think I felt. Whereas now it's like, I can walk on water like Peter, mate.
Yeah, literally. And guys, this is what I want people to understand, the power of what we do at ISI.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got to say that you have to make, when you do this love journey, if you're anything like me, the most exciting thing that you look forward to is when you get on Zoom and you look at Aundrea's face and you just start laughing. You don't know why you're laughing. You're just laughing.
So because I'm in my head scarf.
Who does that?
No,
Who does that? Who does that? We just get on there and I actually look forward to I actually miss my love journey now because I don't have my weekly belly laughter session. And then wait, the last session that we had, Aundrea rings me first, and we're having a good laugh and a chit chat. And she said, I thought I'll get that out of the way. So when we start our session, we can just go right in.
It gets like that. It gets like that. Listen, I knew, because I was like, I know we love our little chit chat. So I'm like, let's have the chit chat first before we do the session, because I know I'm gonna want to have this belly laugh. And I think I just got, and I was like dancing. I was doing my soca dances. I was in the zone. I was getting the vibes.
And in all of that, I had sciatica and a bad back. And then I learned that I didn't have it. I was experiencing it. So I was experiencing not being able to walk since I've got hair, which is like, I've had my stick is my best friend at the moment, my little sidekick. But I was experiencing so much pain. There were times when I couldn't even do my love journey because I was in so much pain. I couldn't do a session, but I still continued to do it. And I've been laid up. This is my mum's gallery, and I've literally spent most of my holiday here because I've not been able to walk. And even though I'm experiencing the fact that I can't walk, I'm still good.
But the thing is, before, it's so funny because you're so different now, because it's like before, it was like, this is happening to me. But it's like now
that's experience.
Now I'm just experiencing it, and it's me, and I just know. Her transformation.
And you know what? You got to learn this new word, experience. Experience is a really nice word.
And the choices we make.
Oh yes.
Will define our experience. Oh, come on, you gotta add that word, guys. Cheers to that. I can't let you drink alone. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
You got to add the word choices, the word experience.
If anybody's not done that love journey yet, and you're feeling a bit daunted, like, I don't really want to open up and I don't really want to share things. Seriously, it's not like she's going to cut you open with a carving knife and split open your guts. It's just having a girl chat. It's just having a chat. Or if you're a guy, it's just having a chat with one of your mates. You just talk. And when you're talking, things just evolve. And it's not even in the talking. It's when you're doing your assignments and the questions posed, it makes you think about the question, think about the answer. And that's where it comes out. That's when you think to yourself, oh, this is me. And then you realize this is your truth. Just love your truth.
Yeah.
Just love your truth and skin to and smile, man. Life is too short.
Life is too short.
Life is too short.
Yeah. Jeez. And it's loving the good and the bad, the up and the down, the in and the out, the right and the wrong.
So if I didn't experience all the things that I've experienced, how can I then say I want to be able to go on a platform and speak to other women about the experiences I've been through? If I can't speak to you about rape if I have not been raped. I cannot speak to you about homelessness if I've not been homeless. I can't speak to you about I've got 1 pence in the bank.
Come on.
And
you
say, I can tell you. So I've experienced it. It's like when somebody, and I've seen my environmental health degree to be an EHO, and I worked as a chef. Now, when you work as a chef, you can tell when somebody comes to do an inspection if they've been a chef before and become an EHO, or they've just come to be an EHO because they wanted something to study in school, and they're coming in your kitchen, and they'll come in your kitchen and they'll be telling you foolishness, but they're telling you from the book. But when you come if you've been a chef before, you know what it's like being a chef and how running the kitchen is. So you can come with a different angle.
Yeah. So you're talking from a place of experience.
Yeah. So I can then be able to say, okay, I do want to go around and be able to talk to women and have different platforms and seminars and be able to chat, but I can't chat crap if I've not been in it. At least I can say I've been in it. So therefore, my experiences and all these negative vibes that I've experienced, I can then take it and tell it to a positive vibe.
Yes. The positive vibe to just sprinkle on them. Yeah. Sprinkle. Guys, I'm sorry, this is when we get a little bit sprinkly. Alison, thank you so much.
So
Thank you so much. Guys, like these are the success stories that really make this journey and what I do so worthwhile. You know, I really, really thank God for, you know, allowing me the privilege to coach Alison and you guys. And if you're interested in a love journey, please do speak to me or speak to one of my team. They're going to start showing up more and more. Okay. So you'll see you've got Darnell, he's got his logo there. And then you've got Can I Just Be Me, Laverne, she's on the team. And then you've got Shanice, I'm not sure if she's in the chat right now, but you've got Shanice who you'll be able to reach out to. And God has just been so amazing with even just helping me and bringing a team together. Like my mind can't comprehend what God is doing and how he's blessing me. And I thank you, Alison. I thank all of you who have allowed me to walk your journey. And I just want to round up by saying, keep making the right choices. Make choices and don't ever regret any of the choices that you've ever made. Because I tell you what, some of the worst choices that you've made in your life has helped you to have some of the most valuable experiences that you could ever have. So do not regret anything. Do not feel guilty for anything. Do not feel guilty. You may have minor regrets, but don't regret it. Just understand that, as the Bible says, all things work together for good. So really make choices consciously, make choices boldly, make choices honestly, make choices lovingly, make choices peacefully, make choices grandly, but make choices. Don't let life choose for you. You choose life. Choose. Okay, guys? So that's what I'm going to say to you today. And before I go, I'm going to... Laverne, are you there? I believe
Hey, hon.
Hey, babes. Laverne is going to come and just talk to you guys just quickly, just to tell you about, you know, what we've got coming up and just to give you a little bit of encouragement as well. All right, so Lavi.
Hey guys, how we doing? It was an amazing session. I think we can all agree to that. I am feeling a bit drained. It was a heavy one because when you start to look at the choices that you've made in your life and where you are today, you're right. Like, have I made the right decision? Have I made the right choice? Have I made the right choice to come onto ISI? Ask yourself that question. Because my main thing is that I'm really keen to see everyone shift. I'm really keen to see people be themselves and, you know, be unapologetic about that, own your identity and walk in that. And we've got a fantastic coach, Aundrea. She's doing an amazing job and she's poured in so much work into the programs which Alison was speaking about. The programs that are upcoming, we've been working behind the scenes daily, guys. Don't get it twisted. We are in the office, back office, doing a lot of work, putting these programs together. So for me, this is something that can really benefit every single one of you. And for me, I think love is something that we always need. And we always, we come up against so many things and we need that rekindling with love again, because so much hurt can happen through the challenges of life and through the choices that we make through life. So with saying that, I really, really want to encourage you guys. You heard Alison's testimony to how she came and she weren't in the mood. You saw her face, and that is majority of the time. That is what it is in the beginning. Nobody doesn't want to ask no one for help. We believe that we can do it by ourselves. We believe that, you know what, I've got the manual, I can manage. And the truth is, if you could manage, you wouldn't be on this ISI Wednesday every week. Right. So my thing is, I'm really, really passionate about people being real open and honest to themselves. So that's the only way you are going to become a better version of yourself, when you own up to those things and just say, you know what, this is what I need. So I want to encourage you guys. Now that you are here in this safe space and you've seen what Aundrea is doing, we want to take Aundrea to the next level, right? I'm sure we do. Because I certainly want her to go to the next level. I want to go to the next level. And if she doesn't go to her next level, it means we don't go to our next level. So how is she going to get to that next level? So for me, it's we need to, if we are standing on ISI and we're believing in everything that she's saying and we're seeing the testimonies, where are the people that we are inviting into this space? This is a free session every Wednesday. I am charging you guys next week, Wednesday, each and every person to bring a friend. One person. It doesn't matter if they come off, but you brought that one person. So I'm charging each and every one of you to bring a friend into ISI free chat next week, because things are going to change, guys. So we want you to get as much of this and get as much people connected to the tribe as possible. Yeah, we good? Now, also, we also have the ISI WhatsApp group, which is flowing. I do see some speaking, some are not speaking, but this is a family, guys, and we are here to encourage each other. We don't need to be silent. We're seeing each other every week, especially with cameras. Let's try to show up. What are we ashamed of? What are we embarrassed of? We all know each other now. So let's just show our face and support Aundrea, because sometimes it is really hard to speak to just names and not see the faces. I've done it before and it can throw you off a little bit, and we're here to support each other. Yeah. In the WhatsApp group, please feel free to share, you know, testimonials that you may have gone through the week. You might have had you might have something to say regarding choices, a choice that you make. Share it in the group. Let us interact. Let's iron sharpen the iron. Yeah. Also, I want to talk a little bit about our YouTube channel that's out there and the social platforms. I'm asking every one of you, if you have a social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, please add ISI, please share. We put out posts every week. You've got a post, you can go onto the ISI page on Instagram and you can snap that picture off. We are giving you full permission. Snap that picture off and send it out into your socials. We've got family members. I'm sure you've got at least 2-3 family members that you're looking and saying, boy, I know say you need that help there. Me know you need that. Me know you need it. So let's just go and give it to them. Let's share. Let's not be mean, and let's make the right choice for the right person to receive the right help, right? Good. Now, also, I want to touch a little bit about our upcoming events. Aundrea did speak about the 9th, which I don't want to put that in set in stone, because we are still finalizing a few things. You can pencil it in, but that is subjected to change, okay? Now, again, when that event comes out, guys, I want to see you all sharing. I want to see you all set aside some time, because I'm tired of seeing everyone on the screen. I want to boom some fists. I want to hug some people, and I want to look you dead in your eye and say, yeah, you're ready for the love journey, right? So please, 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 guys, when you see the dates coming out, save them. Just be committed to being on the ISI, being a part of this family. We've got so much things coming, so much more, and we want to see more. So love you guys. Have a great weekend. And yeah, my name's Laverne. I stand by Can I Just Be Me? I'm all about being unapologetic and being yourself. Own it. And yeah, have a brilliant week, and I'll see y'all next week. Deuces.